So, where did the idea for the show come from?
I had read an article about an alien abduction support group, and I really liked the idea that something like that existed. And I thought that'd be a good world for a show. I want to know more about those people and why they do what they do. And, I like the idea that they were all normal people and they all kind of supported each other, but then they all believed that something truly fantastic would happen to them. To me, that seems like a good metaphor for a lot of things.
Was there a conscious effort to keep it really grounded emotionally too, and as funny as it is?
Yeah, I think if you have aliens telling each other to eat a dick, you need something to ground it. And I like comedy that's a little bit like, I guess, real people talking to each other, and you believe when you see their house, you believe it's really their house. Mm-hmm. It's not like a house you couldn't afford that they're living in, but they make less than you somehow. And you're like, I don't get it. How did the priest get an amazing industrial loft? Right. So yeah, I think for something, it's fun for me to balance fantasy with very grounded, believable reality. That to me feels like a fun show to watch.
Well, for season 2, did you have a plan? Was it, we have a 5-season plan, we know what's 1, we know what's 2?
Yeah, there was some planning involved, and there's for season 2, it's kind of finding it on our feet to a certain degree too. It's both mixed, and then if you find a better idea, you throw out something that you plan that you love. And, it's kind of like mountain climbing or something, working your way through the season.
Did you break all the episodes at once, or was it kind of as you go?
One by one.
Okay.
Yeah, one by one. It really is endurance. It's like you're running a marathon or something. It takes breaking the episodes is the hardest part, and then sending them out, writing them is it's not easy. But getting the story to break and to track all the way across the episode is definitely a challenge.
We talked a little bit about kind of how the binge worthiness of the show.
Yeah.
So it works in a week by week thing, but is there a design that it kind of works like a 10 half-hour movie type thing, or is that a goal?
I like that. That's an aspiration. I don't know that we've gotten there yet, but I think in terms of how a show should and could work, I think we're seeing shows like Transparent. The second season of that feels like a 10-act little movie or something. So to get something where there's enough serialization where you say, oh yeah, I have to watch 2 more of those, and have the serialization really pay off, that's always the goal.
Is there a theme for season 2 or something people should, what about season 2 can you tease, theme-wise, story-wise? What will we see?
That's interesting. Is there a theme for season 2? I think a theme for season 2 is maybe acceptance on some level. All of these characters have had something fantastical happen to them and talk to each other about it, and people don't believe them. But this season, it feels like they're starting to kind of say, oh no, we all know this happens. We don't feel as sheepish about it. And there's an ownership of it for them that I think is really fun to watch and interesting.
Is there freedom with TBS? I feel like we were talking too, there's shows on the live shows, comedies on TBS. They're also kind of daring and different than what we've seen, but all in that similar world. Is that a manifest from TBS, or just a network that kind of works for this kind of show?
I think they're just trying a bunch of different stuff. I mean, I think that's as complicated as it gets. I'm sure their strategy is much more complicated than that. I'm sure if they had a PowerPoint deck, it wouldn't just be one slide. It's like, just try whatever. Just doing stuff. But yeah, I think they're trying to program stuff, the sense I get, that they like and that they watch. And it's less of like, how do these shows work together across our entire brands? And more just like, oh, that looks like it could be good. This looks like it could be fun. That's the impression I get, but I don't know. You have to ask Kevin Riley.
I'll go find him.
That's nuts.
That's not
Jenkins is absolutely wrong. That's what he sounds like. He smokes a cigar.
Do you think that new viewers can find season 2 and know what's going on right away? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's interesting. I mean, we have 21 minutes to tell a serialized story, which is a challenge. And I think the big thing with this show is making a world that people can see and they're used to and they feel like they're home, but at the same time there are twists, and I think it's designing something where people don't feel shut out if they start halfway through the season. I do feel like I'm a little bit mythology overloaded when I watch all my favorite shows, because there's so many and they're so good and there's so much mythology that sometimes it's nice to lighten up on that time.